That night, when the moon rose over Agbeli and the village slept, Bisola packed a small bag, tied her wrapper, and ran barefoot into the dark forest, away from the shame, the whispers, the hunger that ruined her life. She did not know where she was going, only that she wanted peace or death. In a quiet village called Agbele, where the earth was red like the color of palm oil, and the air smelled of wood smoke and roasted yam, there was a girl named Bisola. Bisola was the kind of girl that made people stop and stare, the kind of beauty that made women whisper and men forget their path. Her skin was dark, smooth, and shining like oiled ebony wood. When the sun rose and touched her face, she glowed like the morning star. Her eyes were deep, deeper than the village stream that swallowed careless children. Her waist was slim like a new broom, but her hips curved like the calabash women used to fetch water. Her chest was round and full like the moon during the harvest festival. But, my dear listener, that beauty was her sorrow. From when she was just 14, Bisola's own body started to fight her. At first, it was small things her heart would beat fast when she saw a man walk by. Her palms would sweat, her legs would feel weak. At first, she thought it was normal. Maybe this was how girls felt when they became women. But soon the hunger grew. It became something she could not control. One day, the old palm wine tapper, a man with teeth brown from chewing cola, called her as she passed. His wrapper was loose, his eyes red from too much drink. "Bisola!" he called, laughing. Before her mind could stop her, before her sense could speak, her legs were already carrying her towards him. The women hissed. The boys pointed and laughed. "She will follow even a madman," they said. The shame burned Bisola, but she could not stop herself. Even when her lips said, "Leave me," her hands would betray her, pulling the man close. Her mother, Mama Bisola, was a woman with a hard face and tired eyes. She wept day and night. She tried everything: prayer houses, shrines, herbalists, fasting, charms tied to Bisola's waist. But nothing worked. Bisola would promise, "Mama, I will stop. I will fight it." But the next day, the hunger would come back, stronger than before. The only person who showed Bisola kindness was her late father's sister, Auntie Remy. Auntie Remy was a soft woman who always tied her wrapper high on her chest and chewed bitter cola slowly as she spoke. When Bisola came home, clothes torn, dust covering her skin, it was Auntie Remy who wiped her tears. She would sit with her by the fire, rub her back and say, "My child, it is not your fault. The world is wicked." She would cook pepper soup for her. She would make her hot water to bathe. She never judged, but the village judged. How they judged. Children would sing as she passed. "Bisola will even follow even a goat as long as it wears cloth." Women would slap their husbands for looking at her. Boys would laugh behind her back. One market day, as the sun was setting and the last traders were packing their goods, Bisola went to buy gari. That was when she saw him. The madman, Kunle, sat by the yam stall. His body smelled of sweat and old palm wine. His wrapper was dirty, flies buzzed around his head, and his hair stood like dry grass. Bisola's heart began to pound. Her breath came fast. Her hands trembled. Before she knew it, she had dropped her basket and was behind the yam stall with him. The women selling tomatoes screamed, "Bisola has done it again! With a madman this time!" That evening, the shame was too much. Bisola could not bear it again. The shame, the mockery, how the women looked at her like she was a snake, how the men looked her like meat. So when the moon rose and the village lay in silence, Bisola packed a small bag, just a wrapper, a calabash of Gary, and nothing more. She left her mother's hut, she left the village. She walked into the forest, barefoot, through thorns that tore at her skin, over stones that cut her feet. The night was cold, and the wind howled like a grieving woman. But Bisola did not care. She walked and walked, tears mixing with the dust on her face. She did not know where she was going. She only wanted peace or death. Hours passed. The forest grew darker. The cold became sharper. Her legs grew weak. Her lips were dry. Then, just as she thought she would fall and never rise again, she saw a light, a small, faint light, like the last hope of a dying man. Bisola dragged herself towards it. It was a small clay hut, with smoke rising weakly from its roof. A dim light blinked inside. She knocked once, twice. The door creaked open. A man, no taller than her waist, stood there. His beard was long, white like ash, and twisted like rope. His eyes were sharp and bright. He looked at her and said, "The cursed one has come." Bisola gasped. "You know me?" "I know more than you think," the man said. "I know why your body burns. I know why you weep at night. Your soul has been tied to a dog hidden by wicked hands." Bisola fell to her knees. "Please help me." The man nodded slowly. "You must go back to your village. Walk from house to house. Take your mother with you. Ask her to buy every dog. The owner who refuses that is where your curse lies." Oh, hearing this, Bisola was shocked, and with that he closed the door. The forest grew silent again. The night cold wrapped around her, but now in her heart burned a small flame of hope. When the cock crowed and the first breath of dawn swept across the cold, silent forest, Bisola rose slowly from where she had fallen in the night. The ground was hard beneath her bones, and her wrapper was torn, stained with blood from thorns and mud from the forest floor. But her heart carried a weight heavier than the calabashes the market women balanced on their heads. It was the weight of shame, the weight of 1,000 whispers. But now, tucked deep in that shame, was a spark of dangerous hope, the hope given to her by that strange small man with the beard of ash, Bisola. Her feet, blistered and sore, found their strength. Her legs, weak and trembling, carried her out of the forest. The road back to Agbele felt longer than the road she had taken to escape it. But she walked. Each step was a prayer. Each breath was a silent cry to the gods who had watched her suffer. The sun climbed slowly, and by the time she reached the edge of the village, the red dust clung to her like a second skin. The children who were playing near the stream stopped their games when they saw her. One pointed, another whispered, "See, Bisola has returned, the one who followed the madman." But Bisola did not hear them. Or perhaps she heard, but her heart was too full of purpose to care. She went straight to her mother's hut. The door creaked as she pushed it open. Inside, Mama Bisola sat on the floor, sorting palm kernels, her face set in the hard mask of a woman who had cried too many tears in secret. Bisola fell to her knees before her. "Mama, please, hear me. I have found the answer." Mama Bisola did not look up. Bisola's voice trembled. "There is a curse, Mama. A curse that has tied my soul to a dog. Baba Sola, a wise man in the forest, told me what to do. We must go from house to house, asking to buy every dog. The one the owner refuses to sell, that is where my curse is hidden. Mama, please, come with me." The kernels clicked softly between Mama Bisola's fingers. The silence between them grew heavy, like the air before a storm. Finally, Mama Bisola spoke, her voice low and bitter. "Bisola, how many times will you chase shadows? How many times will you make me walk through this village, humiliated? We have been to prayer houses. We have fasted. We have seen prophets and herbalists. And still you bring shame. Still you follow madness. And now, dogs? No, I will not follow you into another round of madness." Her words cut through Bisola like a blade. "Mama, please, just this once. Just one more try." But Mama Bisola turned away, her shoulders stiff, her eyes on the kernels as if they held all the answers of the world. Bisola rose, her legs shaking, her vision blurred with tears. She left the hut, her heart heavy, but she knew where she had to go. There was one person left who might still stand with her. Auntie Remy sat beneath the big mango tree at the edge of her compound, peeling cassava with slow, careful hands. When Bisola appeared, dusty, bruised, and tear-streaked, Auntie Remy dropped her knife at once. "Ah, Bisola, my child, what has happened to you?" Bisola fell at her feet, sobbing, and poured out the whole story, the forest, the strange man, the curse, the dog, the task ahead. Auntie Remy listened, her face calm, her eyes soft. When Bisola finished, breathless and trembling, the old woman reached out and cupped her face. "Wipe your tears, my child. If your mother will not stand with you, I will." At dawn the next morning, Bisola and Auntie Remy began their journey. They went from house to house. "Please, will you sell your dog?" Auntie Remy would ask. Every time, the answer was the same. "Take it. The dog is a nuisance. Take it. It chews everything. Take it. It barks all night." House after house, compound after compound. By midday, their feet were heavy with dust, their voices were dry, their hearts sank lower with each step. "Maybe Baba Sola lied," Bisola said quietly, as they walked the narrow path that led back toward home. But fate had not finished its game. From the bush beside the path they heard drunken laughter. Out stumbled Paleke, the village drunk, his wrapper hanging loose, a gourd of palm wine in his hand. "Ah, Bisola, why are you buying dogs? Has your mother sold the one she keeps under her bed?" The words fell like thunder. Bisola froze. Auntie Remy's eyes darkened. "What did you say?" she demanded, stepping forward. But Paleke only laughed harder, waving them off as he stumbled back into the bush. The air grew still. Even the birds seemed to stop singing. Bisola's voice was a whisper. "My mother has no dog." Auntie Remy's voice was low but firm. "He may be drunk, but sometimes truth slips from the lips of madness. We will look." That afternoon, when Mama Bisola went to the market, Bisola and Auntie Remy returned to the hut. They searched every corner behind the water pots, under the mats, behind the baskets of yam. Finally, they lifted the bed. Beneath it, hidden under old wrappers, was a heavy wooden box, locked tight. Auntie Remy struck the lock with a stone. The lock snapped open. Inside the box was a thin, trembling dog. A red string was tied around its neck, and between its yellow teeth was an old, faded photograph of Bisola as a baby. Bisola screamed and collapsed to the floor. The curse had a face now. The evil had a body. The drums were beaten. The gong sounded. The villagers gathered. The elders came, their faces grave. Mama Bisola was summoned. When she saw the dog, when she saw the photograph, she fell to the ground, wailing. "I was young," she began, her voice hollow. "They forced me to marry your father. I hated him. And when you came into this world, I hated you too. I went to a priest. I tied your soul to that dog, so you would always hunger, so you would always bring me shame." Bisola fell to the ground, tears pouring down her face. "Why, Mama, why?" she cried. Cries rose from the crowd. Auntie Remy lifted Bisola gently, her voice soft and steady. "It is over, my child. The curse is broken. You are free." Bisola's legs gave out beneath her. The dog whimpered once, then died. Mama Bisola collapsed moments later. Her eyes rolled back. She never rose again. That night, as the stars blinked softly over Agbele village and the cool breeze carried the smell of earth and firewood, for the first time in her life, Bisola slept without shame, without hunger, without fear. The hunger that drove her to men was gone. She placed her hand on her chest. Her heartbeat was steady, strong, but calm. Her breath came easy, like the river flowing quietly in the night. Her body was hers again. She was free. She moved in with Auntie Remy, whose arms and heart were wide enough to carry her broken spirit. The curse was broken. The night had passed. The sun had returned. Evil may hide, but it cannot run forever. One day, truth will find it. It is not always the stranger who harms us. Jealousy in the heart of loved ones can be more dangerous than the hatred of strangers. Sometimes, the deepest wounds come from our own blood. When love and courage join hands, even the strongest chains will break. What was once a source of shame can become a source of strength if we choose to rise. Bisola refused to give up despite all her shame and suffering. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and share it with your loved ones. And people, don't forget to follow for more stories from this channel.